This video provides an update on my journey to develop an open-source data collection tool for both hobbyists and researchers. Over the past 15 years, I've observed many researchers facing additional effort in data analysis due to lack of suitable tools. In many cases, data was not fully shared because it was distributed across multiple systems. Experiments were often not recorded on video, which can negatively affect reproducibility. Live open science was difficult due to missing tools to have all data on one screen. People did not document their experiments or just had their documentation on paper, not with the data, and so on. This software aims to address these challenges by integrating multiple aspects of experimental data collection into a single framework. It supports sensors from various sources, a documentation tool, and automation workflows, including control of external devices through platforms such as Arduino or LabJack. It also offers synchronized video recording with data overlays. In addition, the software provides data analysis using different graph types, as well as import and export of recording sessions. Recorded data collections can be played back and are synchronized with video data, image data, automation steps, and system messages, as if the experiment were running in real time. There may still be some issues here and there, but many features already work quite well. The software is developed on Windows, where it currently runs best. On Linux, LabJack components need to be installed separately if required, as they can sometimes cause issues, and I didn't test it yet. If you want to give it a try, you can find the download link in the description, but always test things first. Now let's take a quick overview of the program. The software follows a project-driven approach, so the project's tab is the main starting point. At the beginning, some empty fields need to be filled in. Alternatively, you can import runs, export runs, or load previous runs. And as you will see, many tabs and pop-up windows include help sections or mouse over tooltips for guidance. Next is the camera tab. Here you can select an installed camera or webcam to use as a video recording device. You can also choose whether a sound device should be included in the recording or whether motion detection should be enabled. Motion detection can be also used as a trigger within automations. You can overlay a timestamp, which is added automatically, as well as sensor data, the motion indicator, and custom text. All overlays can be formatted and freely positioned. Then we have the Sensors tab. Here you can connect all supported devices. There is support for LabJack, for which you still need the Kipling software from LabJack to configure the ports. There's also Arduino support, including example source code that show how Artefakt expects the data interface to work. In addition, you can use a generic serial device for Arduino or other serial hardware. In this case, you can write a small script to read data from one or multiple serial devices. These values are then published as virtual sensors that can be used throughout the software. I also added support for using cameras or webcams as sensors. They can detect light events, measure brightness, track colors, count particles, or detect fill levels. Microphones can also be used as sensors to measure RMS level, peak amplitude, dominant frequency, and decibel level. There is also support for MQTT, the messaging protocol commonly used in the Internet of Things. This is often used in smart home devices, industrial automation, connected cars, and monitoring systems. The final device option is Artefakt itself, when it is running on another computer within the same network. In that case, it can act as a data and/or video source for the main computer. Next is the Automation tab. Here you can define automation sequences that can run in a loop. A sequence consists of one or more steps, each with a trigger and an action. Triggers can be based on a waiting time, a specific time, a sensor value, an event such as motion detection, an optical event from the optical sensor, an audio event from the audio sensor, or a compound trigger, combining two triggers using AND or OR logic. Actions include sending commands to Arduino, LabJack, or serial devices. System actions, such as taking a snapshot or playing a sound, adding an information marker to the graph, setting a variable for later use, or conditional jumps to specific steps within a sequence. There is also a tool specifically designed for long-running experiments to create a time-lapse video from recorded snapshots. Now let's look at the Dashboard tab. You can use the arrow on the panel to create more space if needed. The dashboard provides an overview of most ongoing activities. The live metrics show the current values of all active sensors. On the right, you see a time series view of the collected data, where individual sensors can be shown or hidden. At the top, you can choose whether to display all data or just the last seconds, minutes, hours. Events are also displayed in the graph at the time they occurred. At the bottom, you can see the automation status, including all running sequences and their current state. There's also a list of recent events, such as snapshots or device connections, a gallery of captured images, and a live camera view. At the very top, there are buttons for taking manual snapshots and for adding quick notes to the documentation. These notes also create events in the graph. When you load or import a data collection, everything in this tab behaves as if the data were coming in live. Automations are simulated, images appear at the time they were taken, and video playback is fully synchronized. All elements except the graph can be hidden if they are not needed. On the Graphs tab, you can view live or loaded data and choose from a variety of graph types. These include time series, temperature difference, rate of change, moving average, Fourier analysis, histogram, box plot, and correlation analysis. Some formatting settings also affect the graph displayed on the dashboard. The final tab is the Notes tab. At the top, there's a pre-filled information section containing details from the project's tab. Here you can write notes during or after a run. And you can also insert the current camera frame or a screenshot of a graph using dedicated button. Finally, there are several tools available at the bottom. The data flow monitor shows where data is collected from, at what rate, how much data is processed, and where it is written to, such as the video recording or the CSV data file. There is also a Tools pop-up. This includes a spectrum analyzer, which uses a microphone to analyze audio, and display a frequency spectrum, a waterfall diagram, and a harmonics analysis. More important, there's also a calibration tool, which can also be accessed directly from the Sensors tab for each sensor. It allows linear or polynomial calibration, as well as offset and gain adjustment. These settings are applied per sensor and per run. The calibration curve is displayed on the right, and a built-in help system explains the calibration process. In addition, there's a statistics board, diagnostics tools, a calculator, and an optical rounds per minute sensor, which is, of course, limited by the camera's refresh rate. Thank you for watching, and see you.